Hello, dear folks. Welcome to the show, Jack Chow on the East-West Show with G&E TV. Ever since the happening of the San Bernardino shooting, we have put up many shows. One, two, three, my count is 6. On this 6th show, we have a special guest, my good friend, Mr. Paul Chen, one of the best attorney, no, not one of, the best attorney in my eye, handling civil cases. So, Mr. Paul Chen, if you happen to drive on Freeway I-10, going east from east to west, passing by probably Longo Toyota area, you see the huge billboard about 60 feet or something, 80 feet width by width. That's his image on it. So, Paul, welcome to the show, seriously.
Hi, Jack.
And warmly, too.
Thank
of course,
you.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
All right, thanks. Thanks. You know, ever since the happening, I had a conversation with many of my friends from on the average level, because they are kind of average Joes and Sues. We're talking about what's happening and so on and so forth. But to elevate it to a higher standard from a legal point of view, so this is a legal country, right? We talk about laws, we guide by law, we go by laws, right? Like that. And when law has lost its authority and what happened, right? Mostly concerned are the problems that we, as the average people, do not know what's happening at home and abroad, right? As far as the terrorism situation is concerned, right? So, shall we please first check about what's happening at home and abroad, and by that we need to find out how are we going to protect ourselves legally or constitutionally, or in the case that if there is room, there is a room to compromise where it is, right? And then we come down to the last resort to the analysis of the details of the very case, the very incident at San Bernardino. How about that?
Okay.
Good. So first of all, Paul, to your knowledge, I know you are very highly educated, and also you are on the job for so many years. So in your eye, what's happening at home and abroad? First, we started with internationally. What's happening?
Well, it's obviously there's a lot of fear. You know, when we've always known, I think the international community has always known that there is possible terrorism. We've seen it in pockets, even in countries that we never thought would happen, Japan, you know, now in France. We've seen it in China, you know, really on the western frontier as well, that there's been terrorism as well. It's touching every country, and it's causing a lot of fear. I mean, that's, you know, the truth is that a lot of people are scared. You know, they kiss their family good morning, they go to work, and many of them aren't coming back anymore. It's very difficult for us because life is already so difficult as it is, and to think that it could end at any time, it's causing a lot of fear.
Yeah, we used to think about this in a way like what's happening over there is a problem over there. Now we're part of it, right? Now we're part of it. So internationally, we're talking about this bunch of the radicalized anti-terrorists, terrorists. Are they going against the whole humanity? Is there their target?
Well, you know, I think that the radicals, you know, what we consider to be radicalized individuals, are really no different than any other terrorist organization. They really believe in what they do. They believe that society is completely wrong. And it's important, because society is so wrong, that they do something extreme to gain notice and to bring it back to what they believe is the correct theory and the correct law of the universe. Obviously, it's wrong. You know, and it's unfortunate because you know, I believe that deep down inside, these radicalized individuals are humans too. I believe they have families too, and they hurt too.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's unfortunate that they've been able to rationalize in their mind what they're doing, that it's somehow for a greater good, this type of death and carnage You know, it's a lot of innocent people.
The part, Paul, I couldn't understand is that they, I mean the bombers, I mean the human bombers, right? Themselves, the radicalized, they are human too.
Yes.
They have families, they have kids. So if you think from that point, they are not hurting people of the rest of the world, they are hurting themselves too. So there must be something as a motivation, as a motive, that is so strong that it pushes them to the very extreme end. So what is that?
Even to sacrifice their own life.
Yeah.
For a vision. I mean, it's extremely unfortunate that they believe that their view of the world is correct, and they are unable to accept other people. Truly, I think ultimately they're human beings too. I mean,
yeah, they're a human being too. Yes.
And the fact that they're willing to take someone else's life, someone's precious life.
Sure.
It's unfortunate. And now I think the world is at a point where the world is going to be doing very extreme things too. And in so doing, a lot of other innocent people are going to be hurt. And, you know, I just hope that, you know, that we're able to capture these people. I believe that we can. It's going to be difficult because there's international law.
You can't take them all.
We can't take them all out, but hopefully through the education of the population, that we can encourage and convince more people that radicalization is definitely not the logical or right place to be.
Get the core of the issue though. I can't help thinking this way. If somebody say, hey Jack, here's $10 million, go blow up this building. There might be something good enough to push one to do that. If somebody say, Jack, here's $10 million, go kill yourself. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. So if something is so big, even bigger than that, that you are so happy to die for the something, what is the something? That's so confusing.
And you know, one of the things that I disagree with is us not trying to help out nations that are very poor. Actually, many of the Middle Eastern countries, once you leave kind of the Israeli-controlled area, it's very poor, and it's you know, many people would say it's blighted, and there's a lot of homelessness.
Yeah, right.
And so, you know, many of these people don't need $10 million. You give them $5,000 or $10,000, or even less.
I see.
And so, I think it's incumbent upon the world to help out nations that are not doing well.
You're right.
That includes continents as well. And it's incumbent upon us to try to build and to allow them to succeed, because in their success, they don't want to go out and hurt other people. That's, you know, it's just my feeling. I know a lot of politicians are against that. You know, they believe that,
you are right.
You know, we don't have enough as is in the United States, and I agree with that too. But I do believe that it's incumbent upon us to go out and help.
I'm so glad, Paul, that you take it incumbent upon ourselves that we got to do it other ways. There are at least there are other solutions, right? At least probably if we can go parallel. Right. So that automatically triggers my second question. That is, do these occurrences, which is on the rise, have anything to do with the two wars? That the wars pushed to an extreme end?
Well, I think that the reaction we had to 9/11, it was a tough situation. You know, how do you make a decision to go into another country? But how do you not?
How do you not? Yes.
Right. And so it was our belief at the time that there were weapons of mass destruction, and it was clear, at least at that time. And we have to back the president. We don't have to agree with him, but we have to back his decision to go in.
If I were a soldier, I'll do the same thing, right?
But we're in a situation now where, yes, we didn't realize that taking over a country was going to be so difficult. Some people said, well, we should have learned with Vietnam. you know, that we can't be able to go into a country and impose our force. But yet, you know, we have to say America is the most incredible nation in the entire world. And the resources that we have and the intelligence that we have to get things done are second to none. I think it is very difficult for us not to. The difficulty is, how do you, instead of imposing your will, how do you help a nation become better?
You're right.
And I think that that's the difficulty. And unfortunately, we've had to sacrifice many soldiers to you know, to effectuate the goals of the country.
You're right.
It's unfortunate.
Very good, very good. Thank you very much, Paul. I really appreciate this kind of analysis of the situation. And by the way, my audience, this is the first time that we take a brand new look, a brand new perspective into the same problem. That is that as a country, as the #1 incredible country of the world though, so do we really think the war is the only resort? There are others, such as education, such as to help the poor countries, right? Okay, with me today is my good friend, Mr. Paul Cheng, a famous attorney, #1 attorney in my eye. Being a Chinese American, he knows about both ways. And also, we are talking about the terrorist situation and the anti-terrorist wars, anti-terrorist campaign. We have a lot to do that he pointed out that we have a third job to do. That is, as a country, as a #1 country, how can we help people to improve their life, even the countries, regardless the poor people, all right? So stay with us. We'll take a very short moment. When we come back, we'll find out what's happening at home. At home, I mean, in San Bernardino. We used to think about, these are the problems elsewhere. Now we're part of it. So please stay with us.